Hey everybody, GravyTrain here with yet another episode of GravyTraining. Trying to get a number of videos out today to start whittling the list of heroes down. So today, well later this time, today, I'm going to do a spotlight on the Goblins. And as you shine a spotlight on the Goblins, you watch the cockroaches go running for the cover of darkness, and needless to say, they are not currently very good. That may change. I'm going to run through them just so you understand why they're not very good, but they're not very good. So let's get started. So, well, first of all, who are the Goblins? Got Cruel King Bramble. He is the linchpin or the keystone goblin, like Valken or Zerk or Jin or any of the other heroes that is the lead for a given family. You got NubNub, you've got Squinch. Technically, Kozar is a goblin, but he is also an ogre, and he is really more ogre than goblin. And you've got Zerk. So, yeah, let's start with Bramble. So Bramble is a legendary for whatever that's worth, because he's still not very good. You've got a silver, a bronze, a gold, and a bronze. And 3 of them of the 5, or of the 4 or 5, whatever, have epics. So, Bramble, he's a goblin tank. His stats, baseline stats. Now, granted, I'm not putting runes on the heroes today, because for these lower level teams that aren't used very much and everything else, it's just really not worth it. His attack is actually decent. His defense is meh for a tank. Skill is alright. Health is okay, crit's okay, but considering he's getting a 30% buff on top of everything else and has an epic, it's kind of like meh. He has armored, which is boring. Good to be the king. Goblin allies get a 20% buff to attack and crit. Okay, they still suck. Critical Goblin Stench. Whenever a goblin ally scores a crit, they attack a random enemy. Whenever Cruel King Bramble crits, all goblins attack an enemy. So his epic is 30% attack, 20% health, 20% skill. For a tank, to have attack, health, and skill is kind of like, why? So his effect is 30% chance to deal 2x damage, starts or refreshes a goblin dance party, and then has critical goblin stench. Which I believe the difference with critical goblin stench is going to be that all goblins attack a random enemy. Alright, his basic attack. We already talked about his epic stuff. Goblin Dance Party is his first special. It raises ally attack, crit, attack and crit, and everybody's morale, which means they're going to be pretty much impossible to fear. The next ability that he has is Overlord's Blitz. It's a melee physical attack on a target and 2 random enemies. 999 base damage. Now I realize he does no runes, but even then, this is garbage. Like, there's healers that do more. I mean, it's kind of like meh, just really not all that great. Then Gimme, taunts and heals. 4397 health, split between all goblins. Starts powered. Like, he's a tank. Why? There's just very little synergy here. This at least starts powered, but it's like, eh. He should be more of like a healer the way he behaves. That takes us to the next hero. is NubNub, who is a slow goblin healer. He does have an epic, but we'll go over his stats first. So his base stats are just blah, nothing to write home about. He has spirit resist, woohoo. He's slow, so he has the benefits of slow, which is going to be that his attack and his hit points are boosted. Anytime he crits, he heals the team. He does at least have a good crit chance. Increases health by 25% for all goblin allies. Health. Woohoo! Heal to the chief, but on a team with Cruel King Bramble, heals all goblins each turn. That's reasonable. The epic is 30% defense, 30% attack, 20% health. That's actually not bad for a healer hero. It's a plus 30% chance to cleanse allies, attack for 1.5 damage, and a plus defense buff to goblin allies, which is also not bad. Of all of the heroes, as long as you're running in with goblins, he's probably not too bad. By comparison, like, compared to other heroes, not so much. So, Voodoo Chant. Regenerate 6,000 health. That'll go up with skill. Between the team over 3 turns. And buff team crit 54%. So, the team crit buff is good. But the issue is that he's regenerating 6,000 health. Split between 4 people, 4 heroes. I mean, up to 4 heroes, which is basically 1,500 health over 3 turns. So that's 500 hit points a turn. That's nothing. Like, that's not even a full basic attack. So it's kind of like, meh. Not so good. Stout team. So this one is actually decent. Buffs attack, 96%. Defense, 95% for all allies, and then ×2 for nature allies. This one is a decent ability. Like, matter of fact, let me stand corrected. This is a good ability. So as far as that goes, I mean, this is actually pretty good. Haste ally grants a second action plus a 105% dodge chance. Dodge is garbage. Granting the second action, okay. What is the cooldown on this? 5 turns. So you're going to get it once in a battle. And you're going to get it once in a battle like 3 or 4 turns in. So, not so great. Squinch, everybody's favorite useless hero. He's a goblin warrior. He has basically meh stats at best. He gets boosted damage versus taunted enemies. Boosted damage versus warriors. Meh. I mean, yeah, you can kill Valken a little easier or something like that, but boosted, when you're boosting nothing damage, you're still doing nothing. Royal Crit Fire, went on a team with Cruel King Bramble. Burn on a crit. Well, okay. Unless you're fighting demons, and then they get healed. So not so good. He is armored, so yeah. He has an epic. He gets health. Woo, health! Defense and attack. The defense and the attack are good. 30% chance to do 3 times attacks on the target. Do 3 attacks on the target, it's not 3x. I'm going to apply up to 3 random debuffs. Okay. That has the potential to be decent, except that it's random. Playing with fire. Melee fire attack on all enemies for no damage. I mean, it's 676, but that's basically no damage. The chance to burn, once again, Allies gain 1.5x bonus versus burning targets, so that is decent. But the attack itself is just crap damage. It does apply a burning buff, which lowers defense a little bit too, but it's just not good. Plus, you're not going to do it to constructs. You're not going to do it to Valken or Emily or any number of other people that are immune to burn. Burning Chop, melee fire attack for 2634 base damage with a chance to burn. That's no damage. Even if he had full runes and was doing 4,000, like for being a warrior killer, that's no damage. And finally, Cheap Shot. Melee physical attack for 1621 base damage plus 100% damage for each debuff on the target. So if you were working with demons, if he were a demon instead, that'd be pretty great. But he's not. He's a crappy goblin. So, yeah. And then Zerk. Everybody's favorite Zerk. Another goblin warrior. He... Critical exhaustion. He exhausts a target on any crit, lowering their energy. So that's decent as long as he crits. His base crit is dookie. He's a caster hunter, boosted damage versus casters. I think that used to be called like Kill the Nerds, or maybe that's his power or something like that, or one of his special. Regenerate health every turn, so that's not decent, or not terrible. Once per round on a crit, give goblin allies haste and +1 energy on crit. So, running a goblin team, if you wire him up for heavy crit, they will be getting haste, so that's decent. You become like a little whirling dervish. I might try to put a goblin team together just to see, but I just don't see them surviving. Like, getting crowd controlled by silence or fire or freeze or whatever else. They need to make one of these heroes provide insulated woolies for goblins. He does not have an epic. His basic attack, just a basic attack. Dragon Punch, melee physical attack for basically 3,000 damage and a chance to daze. Daze is like, meh. Against dwarves, it's useless. Against anybody else, yeah, you can get some dodges in. Rampage is melee physical attack on a target and one random enemy. It should be, that's not really a rampage, that's like a +1 for basically 1860 base damage. So not all that great. And Crush the Nerds is a melee physical attack for 2,700 damage. Doubles against casters. So he could be used pretty well against Lily or Jin or like any of the other casters. I mean, that's fine. Kind of specialized and not really all that useful. So I'm not going to go into Kozar because I'm going to do him with the ogres. He has a little bit of synergy with the goblins. But, I mean, to me, he's just more of an ogre, so that's it. That is goblins. Currently, like I said, they are pretty bad. They're easy to get, so, I mean, if you got goblin synergy early as you're leveling up, like in your 20s, 30s, 40s, you could probably do okay with goblins if you're able to get them level up pretty good. So maybe, but at level 80, yeah, like I said, I will give them a try, and I will respond here and let you know if I can make something work. I don't think it's going to work against the meta, so, and that's the important barometer here is, if you can beat the meta with it, great. If you can't, don't bother. So, thanks everybody for coming out, watching, hit a like. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Hit the bell, get notified. Thanks for your support. Have a great one, guys. See ya.